We are? Hey, everybody. Hi, did you miss me? I'm back. Welcome to Lunch Break with ATI. I'm Cindy Collins, one of the co-founders here at Actors Theater of Indiana, the professional resident theater company at the Center for the Performing Arts right here in good old Carmel, Indiana. So today I have with me Sydney. It's a good thing we didn't do rehearsals together.
Oh, yes.
Because people would be like, Sydney, no, Cindy, could you please move to your left? Howard. Sydney is the lead in Violet. She is playing the namesake of the show, Violet, and which is running. We opened just last Friday, I believe. Today's Wednesday. We opened last Friday. Yes. And October 28th. And it runs till November 13th right at the Studio Theater. It is a beautiful, beautiful musical. The cast is absolutely wonderful. I mean that with all my heart. And I think you guys are all getting along fantastically from what I hear from my cohort and better half, Judy Fitzgerald, who is in the show, one of the other co-founders of the company. She's playing Old Lady Hooker, which is nice. And that's not one person. She plays Old Lady and then Hooker. But the show is not about hookers at all. The show is about a young woman, Violet, who you are playing. And it's about her life. It's a life journey. It's about a life journey for her. So I'm not going to give it away. I want to talk to you about yourself and how. Let's see where to start. Okay, so you are from Rochester, New York. I'm from New Jersey, East Coaster. Yay!
Yeah.
And so originally from Rochester, up there where Kodak used to be.
Yes.
That used to be a huge area for Kodak. And they're no longer there, obviously.
Right.
But I think that area is getting a resurgence along the Erie Canal.
Yep.
I think.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's really starting to build itself up again. And so anyway, tell me a little bit about yourself. You were born there?
Yeah, I was born in Geneva, New York, which is
Yep.
right on the tip of Seneca Lake, one of the Finger Lakes. And then I did a lot of theater in that area. And in high school, when I started high school, I moved to the Rochester area and was there through high school. My parents still live there. And then I went to college in Cleveland, Ohio at Baldwin Wallace.
Okay. Yeah, I went to school in Ohio too. Isn't that weird?
Yeah. Where did you go?
Just OU, Ohio University.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, so I'm like,
Cool.
I'm leaving New Jersey for a while, and New York for a while.
Ohio.
Yes, I know. It was fine to go to school there, though. I had a great time in school.
Yeah, no, I think it was.
And then I went back home.
Yes, same. Then I went back home for a year because of COVID. So I graduated 2020.
Oh my gosh. Oh wow.
And then finally, June 2021, moved to New York City, which had been always been the plan.
Sure. Yep.
And
as it should be.
I've been there since until October 10th when I came here.
So when you got out in 2020, when COVID hit, you were in school. You were a senior in college?
Yeah, I went home for spring break without a care in the world.
Right.
And didn't go back to school at all, except to pack up my dorm room like a month plus later.
Right.
It was sad, but I think I kind of had it better than people who still had to stay in
get through school, right?
Afterwards. I got most of my school out of the way before.
Right. Did you guys do a showcase at school? Anything?
Canceled. Yeah. We were supposed to have it. We had rehearsed it. We had done our first run through right before spring break.
Yeah.
And then no.
Yeah, a showcase is like when you're a theater major at your senior year, what you'll do is your senior showcase and not filmed or anything live usually, and take it into New York City usually, get a space, and so agents can come and see new talent and see if you can get picked up by an agent or just start to get work. But that was canceled, and that's a bummer. But I mean, oh gosh,
it was okay. We put together a bunch of clips that we all sent in, and then they sent that out to agents, and it worked out fine.
Yeah, so, it's fine. I mean, that's fine. I know, but that's tough. But where are you in the city? Where are you on the island? You're in Manhattan, right?
Yeah, I'm in Hamilton Heights.
Yeah.
Up in the 140s. Yeah.
They're calling all these things like new things now. The Hamilton Heights. Where I lived, now it's called Hudson Heights.
Yes.
Wasn't when I first lived there.
What was it called?
Nothing. You just were like, where do you live? I live up near the Cloisters. I'm near Fort Tryon Park. I live
There
up
you go.
above. I'm above Washington Heights.
Mhm.
Because Washington Heights was always Washington Heights.
Right.
But it was it was just like I'm up near Fort Tryon. I'm
Yeah.
near the Cloisters.
Yeah.
So I'm up, and now they're like, well, I'm called Hudson Heights now. So very swanky.
Yeah.
But living up there is great. Do you like it?
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always wanted to live in the city, and I love how alive it is, and it's just, I'm never bored.
No,
There.
you're never bored there.
And I just feel really lucky to be able to spend a big part of my 20s there at least.
Yep,
So,
I agree. I grew up right outside there, and then my adult moved in. Same thing, moved into the city.
mhm.
As performers, it's kind of like if you're from that area, it's what you do. You just move into the city. And
Mhm.
I call where I grew up in the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. You call it the city.
Mhm.
Where do you work? I work in the city.
Mhm.
I'm going into the city today. It's
Oh, yeah.
it's just that's just what everybody says.
Right.
But in our profession, it's just like it's a natural next step
Yes.
that you are either living right outside the city, in
Mhm.
Hoboken or Weehawken or like Jersey
Right.
City, or you're in there in one of the 5 boroughs.
You go for auditions, and
Yeah.
there with 3 other actors. I'm living with them.
Are you?
and
Yeah,
We
yeah.
have our apartment, so it's
Yeah,
we're all doing the same thing, and it's great
Yeah.
that we get to support one another.
and Sydney finds things on the street and brings them home, and
Yeah,
don't like it.
stooping.
but I used to do that all the time too.
Yes.
Constantly, and I still do it. So if you leave anything out on the curb and it's gone, it's probably me.
Yeah.
So
well, it might be me now.
exactly, because she's here for
Okay.
she's here for another week and a half.
I'm gonna
So
take
if
it
you
on the
need to
airplane.
get rid of anything, just go ahead and put it out, and we'll swing by.
Yes. Stooping.
So when you when you were growing up, and so everybody's different, everybody's like, I got the bug early.
Mhm.
I was a late bloomer. I mean, how was it for you? Were you surrounded by music in your home, from your parents?
Mhm. Yeah. Well, my mom studied musical theater in college, actually in the 80s at Syracuse University.
Oh my gosh! First
So-
thing, hello. That's an excellent excellent program.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So she was there back then. So she is a performer. She's a singer, and so I was always exposed to it. She sang to me before I was born, even, and so we often say I would sing before I could even walk,
You're right.
and so it's always been something that I've done, and maybe when I was about 11 years old, it really became something that I discovered that I loved to do, performing specifically musical theater, and since then that's the path I've been following.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And so, what about your dad?
My dad is not a musician, but he loves music. I mean, he's got a record collection. He collects old audio equipment. So I mean, that stuff is just another way that I was always surrounded by it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, me too. So your mother's still performing?
No, not usually.
No.
Sometimes
Is she
she'll
still
sing a little.
singing?
Yeah, a little bit. A
Yeah.
little bit. I think she's gonna be in a choir again soon. So that's
Good. Do you have and was she raising other siblings around you?
Yes, I have a younger sister. She's 2 years younger than me.
Oh,
and
geez,
she's,
yeah, you guys are young.
yeah, she's a social worker. She's doing amazing work. Just started her job.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Where is she,
She
doing
loves it.
that?
In the city of Rochester.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, she's with Strong Hospital, but she's doing amazing work and she's really good at it.
Wow.
Really proud
Yeah,
of her.
that is really hard work. Judy's my sister-in-law was a social
Mhm.
worker,
Mm.
and the stories that she has when she first started are
Yeah.
incredible. Cacophony of all these people that
Mm-hmm.
she helped and had to work with, and some are funny. She's funny. So some are,
Mhm.
are
Mhm.
there's levity to some of them. You know what I
Right.
mean? And then other ones, it's like, oh my gosh, whew, you got to be tough to do that.
Yes, and Anna's definitely my sister Anna.
Yeah.
She's definitely a tough person. She's
Yeah.
really great for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you something, because when you auditioned and sent in your video submissions, that's how we have been
Mm-hmm.
doing auditions, video submission, because of course still hanging over from COVID.
Mm-hmm.
But we will be doing live auditions next year in February. Yes, we're holding live auditions.
Nice.
So you sent it in. The director, Richard J. Roberts, who is the director, he's wonderful. Richard is the dramaturg at Indiana Repertoire Theater, and this is about Is this his 6th production he's done with us, I believe.
Nice.
Yeah, and Richard's a absolutely brilliant individual and a brilliant director. The show was absolutely perfect for him. I think he was hesitant, and then we gave him the script, and he completely flipped and fell in love with it. But he wanted you from the very beginning. There was no, it was the callbacks, and he's like, that's it. This girl, this is it.
Wow.
And we're like, well, of course, but absolutely, whatever you want. But what drew you to, and everybody's always drawn to a show, to this particular show, or this particular character even, of Violet?
Yeah, well, I was lucky enough to see a production of Violet back in 2019.
Yeah.
I was able to study abroad in Europe, and I saw the UK premiere of Violet.
Okay.
Just by chance walking by, and I saw that. I'm like, oh, I have to see this show.
Yeah.
Because I'd heard of it. And
Yeah, because it came out in '96. I mean, it's not a new show.
Right. And I went in there and saw that show, and it was so impactful, and so much of it spoke to me in terms of a young woman learning to say yes and be brave and find validation from inside of her, and I just knew immediately, I'm like, I want to play this role. I love that she is vulnerable and strong, and the journey she goes on, I'm still trying to go on that journey in my life, and I feel like so many of us can connect to having things about us that we feel really insecure about, and that hold us back.
Right.
And I think if we can all learn to accept ourselves, of course, it's such a thing we hear all the time, but despite our flaws and put our best foot forward in the world, I mean, it would just be so great.
Of course, and easier said than done, right?
Yes, of course.
Always easier said than done. People are like, be yourself and be.
Yeah.
And I actually think the younger generation now they have the opportunity to do that a little more. You know what I mean? I think.
Yeah.
Than perhaps my generation was.
Sure.
I always thought it was always myself, but then you're like, wait a minute, and then you really, were like, wait a minute, I wasn't, and then you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I think the younger generations are starting to do that a lot quicker, and
Well, that's good to hear.
But I think so, because I think our kid does, and she and her friends. So I think it's good to see that. It's freeing.
Right.
Finally you're like, oh my God, I can totally be who I am, and it's so confining when people are not.
And I'm sure it varies from community to
absolutely, I'm sure it does. I'm sure. But Violet, this you think about it, the character of Violet, Carl, she leaves her small hometown in North Carolina. They lived in the mountains. She and her mother had passed away, and she goes on this bus trip to go see this evangelical minister who's, it's 1964, and he's like, you are healed, and I can heal you, and you can walk, and she thinks, oh well, he's going to help me, because she got scarred as a child on the face. There's nothing on the face of the actor at all. It's all just created in your mind, and of course talked about in the show, of course, and people's reactions. But there's no makeup, there's nothing like that, and that's what makes the show so wonderful and so fantastic, and it's so actor driven and so grounded and so earthy, and the music is absolutely soaring. That's what it is. Janine Tesori she's a composer, writes soaring music, and it just fills your heart. And it's a show of hope. It's filled with hope, and at the end there's hope, and so it's uplifting, of course. But think about a young girl just going on the Greyhound bus all the way to Oklahoma by herself in 1964. Has really never been anywhere.
Right.
I mean, this character's really brave. Meets two soldiers, Flick and Monty. These guys who they befriend her. And they become friends with her, and they're like a trio. They're like traveling together, and all the different characters she meets. I found it fascinating. I'm so glad we have this show and picked this show for our season. I think it's worthy of people to see. It really has a beautiful message, and that's important. That's what well, I certainly think theater's about a lot of things, but one of the things theater's about is putting a wonderful, beautiful message out there to the audience.
Absolutely.
Go home, talk about it. Discussion. Go home, talk about what you just saw. I love doing that. I mean, I love it. I love when we go see a show and we just, we're, and then afterwards I always go through the playbill afterwards meticulously, and we discuss it and talk about the show in detail. I mean, that's what, right? I mean, you probably do that too. I can tell by your personality, that's what makes going to see live theater so fantastic.
I think the show like Violet, it's especially amazing for doing that because it does leave so much for interpretation while also still being extremely detailed and full. So everyone's going to walk away taking something very different away from it. So it's perfect for doing that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, absolutely. All right, we are we're over time. I go over the time all the time, but but I will wrap it up. Listen, come see Violet. We run till November 13th at the Studio Theater. You can call the box office, 843-3800, or go to our website, atistage.org, for tickets. Wednesday nights are always discounted, or Wednesdays, so you have tonight and next Wednesday for discounted tickets for the show. We've been doing that for years. And we run Wednesdays to Sundays, and we run for 2 more weeks. And Sydney Howard is wonderful as Violet, and the rest of the cast is also marvelous. So please come see a wonderful 11-person cast, and come see this beautiful show. And thank you so much for your support. And I am Cindy Collins, co-founder of Actors Theater of Indiana, and this was Lunch Break with ATI. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you. Toodaloo.